So, I've been having gas leak problems with the Datsun since day one, and I finally fixed all those. And guess what happened? The Mustang GT now leaks gas all over the ground when I go to fill it up. So I'm going to make a video on how to replace this gasket. And I'm just going to cut to the parts where I make progress and not fail. And then maybe I'll make a summary of what works and what doesn't at the end. I have no idea if I have to drop the gas tank or not. I don't know if everything's going to fit perfect, but here's what I've got going on so far. So what happens whenever you fill it up? You can see that the bottom of this is really rusty. You can see towards the bottom of these pipes. These are just metal pipes in here. I was unaware that they were metal. I thought they were maybe plastic with a hose or something, but they are indeed metal. And over here, brand new OEM parts. I got these on Amazon, both for about $175. I recommend Amazon if you're going to get these parts OEM and you have patience for it to ship to you. It said 2-day shipping, but it took about 6 days to get here. Alright, you got the brake off, got jack stands underneath, or you got the wheel off and jack stands underneath it. And you can see where it's going in at. Now what I'm thinking is I can kind of pull it out and pull it up at an angle out of it. So we'll see how that does. Oh, I hate seeing any rust. But yeah. I always put the wheel right here under the back of the car, so if anything ever did happen, it falls on the wheel instead and just crushes that. I don't know. Just have it right there. And of course, corrosion. Disconnect the battery. Step 1, use a T15 to take these out. Now I'm going to remove these 3 bolts. Now you want to remove this, that, and take off this hose. After you take all those out, take this black piece of plastic out. You should just be able to move it, and you should be able to kind of pull it away from the filler neck. Before you can get it out, there's still this hose right here. You have to go under the car and disconnect it. I'll show you this. Okay. Right here on the back. You can see, let me turn on the light. There's that hose coming down. You have to just pull it out of that little socket. That vent hose after I pulled it out. So now, and this is the little end on it that was inside the fender. So now, what I'm going to do is try to pull this thing out of here, but I think there's one more little latch on the bottom. There's 2 vent hoses right here you still need to take care of by just disconnecting, and there's supposed to be a bolt right there, I assume. But there's not on mine, and that's just part of everything, I guess, with a car. One of the main reasons I'm making a video, stupid things come up like this that people don't realize. I'm shaking like crazy, what the heck? Alright, so, there's this thing right here. You gotta pull this out with a screwdriver, and it releases it so you can pull it off. Alright, so don't freak out when you see that. Okay, now this is my idea. I assume a lot of people are having trouble with this, and this is where, yes, I need to jack up the car, or no, I don't need to. So, my idea is just to pull this out and angle it upward as I pull it out. So, since it's in there about 5 or 6 inches, I pull it outward, and I keep angling it upward at the same time. I can get just enough clearance to actually pull it out all the way. So I'll let you know if that works or not. I can get out about that far, and there's just no more room. I just can't budge it anymore. So what you're going to have to do now is drop that further side of the gas tank and leave this one up a little bit higher and just angle it so you can pull it out just right. So that's what I'm going to do next. Yo, I just sprayed that other bolt way over there for the gas tank from like 3 feet away. Anyways, you can actually see there's one bolt way over there. You have one right there holding it up, and you only have one in the back, almost like they knew. Well, you can't really release that one, it looks like, from here. That's just a tilting / safety one, I guess. I don't know. Listen, there's a way to disconnect it, but I'm not going to touch that. My goal will be just to loosen them just enough to get them and mind the rust. I don't even know how that happened. Actually, I do. I drove it through a winter one time. But I'm not proud of that. So I'm going to let them soak while I hit them with the PB blaster and wait for breakfast to be over, and then I'll come back. Alright, so I have that bolt out and I got that strap undone over there. You really only need to do one side on each. I made a mistake saying all three. But use an impact wrench, because those things are impossible to get out. Well, you're going to be fine getting them out with a socket, but impact will make your life so much easier. These things are really stuck in there. And now I got it balanced on a jack. I have a safety thing over there just in case I drop it. I'm going to put another one over here just in case, and go from there. After about an hour and a half, I finally got it out. You see the gas tank kind of looks like that. There's these two tubes on the left over here that I'm actually going to have to remove right over here, so it's level whenever it comes down, because it's way too difficult to take it out without that being out. Make sure you take those two off, and you have to drop the gas tank about that angle. So let's look at why this is rusty later, but for now we're just going to replace the gasket and put the new one in. Here's why the item failed. Like anything else that rusts on a car, dirt gets in these crevices and everything, sits there, gets wet, and then rusts away everything. You can see that this is just from this right here. So there's got to be something better. Oh, there's the leak right there. Let's see if we can get it better. There it is. The gasket is in phenomenal shape. I'll show you that real quick. I can find it. This gasket shows no side dry rot whatsoever. So definitely not the gasket. Definitely this hole right here. Now, is there a way so that we can make it for this one not to rust out? All I can think of, you know what I'm going to do? I'm debating if I'm going to take this off or not, because this is just, well, I got all the dirt in there in the first place and rusted. I mean, nothing else is rusted, just that area where it collected dirt. So let me think about this and I'll come back to you. I assume the only reason it was on there is to protect anything from the wheels that flicks up and could break this or shatter it. So what I'm going to do is wrap it with some Super 88 tape real tight right here. That way no moisture gets in it. And then I'm going to put this protector back on top of it. So I taped it and I have it in there. I recommend putting the zip ties as close to the end as you can, unlike what I did there. I'm going to redo that so that nothing gets down inside. And over here, we've got the new gasket in place, which was kind of a pain in the butt to do. But what I'm going to do is oil up the gasket with some regular motor oil, then slide that guy in there, and everything's going to go together without any problems. Well, it's about 5 seconds later, and I already have it in. That went in phenomenally easy. So now I'm just going to try to line everything up and get the gas tank back on. One more thing I want to mention before I get it all back together. Make sure you undo the fuel filter clamp just to get it so it hangs out to get a little more room. Make sure you do that along with those lines of the other one like I talked about earlier, just so you have more room. The gas tank's back in. Everything went together much easier than I anticipated. All I need to do now is put those bolts in, connect the tubes, and put that plastic piece in that's over there that goes right here, and I'm done. So when I finish it up, I'll turn it on, check for any leaks, and then it'll be good to go. Hey guys, I don't see any fuel leak. I ran it for about a minute now. Stinky though. I obviously have that performance tune on it. Nothing obvious. Alright, well, I'd say it's all done. I'm gonna go get gasoline. Hopefully it doesn't leak whenever I get gas in it, and I'm out. Alright guys, so I just took it for a drive and it ran fine. There was no leaks. When I filled it up, no leaks. The check engine light that was on came off, and one last thing is I torqued the bolts for the straps to about 40 foot-pounds. I read that somewhere on the internet, but that just felt about the right amount of torque anyway. So, until next time, if anyone has any comments on anything that would help anyone out doing this, please post them down below, and then people will know more information. So, thanks.